Hello everyone, Loreseeker here. Over the last few weeks on this channel, I've given readings on all 5 chapters of the main Kaldheim story. Each chapter can be counted among the longest and most viewed videos on my channel, and together with you, my viewers, I've experienced the full story from start to finish. With that said, I figured it would be alright to finally sit down and do something I haven't actually tried yet on this channel, review a story. The Kaldheim lore is fresh in my mind, and I've had a lot of time to think about it. Now, before I begin, I just want to say, I am by no means a critic of fantasy writing. On this channel, especially, I try to be as neutral about the story as possible, giving my opinions only sparingly, and I don't think I've ever done a full-on review before. While thinking about this video, I reached out to people in the MTG community, and got their opinions on the story as well. Some I agreed with, others not so much, but talking about it with so many people helped me better form my own opinions on the story, which I'll present here. Also to note, as of this video, I have not fully read each of the Kaldheim side stories. It's possible that my opinions on the story would change for better or worse after their inclusion, so for now just know that this video is only a review of the 5 main chapters of the story. As for the side stories themselves, I will be reading them on this channel. Well, at some point anyway. For now, though, let's just begin with my thoughts on the newest entry in the magic lore. First, let's go over what I liked. To put it simply, I loved Tyvar. He's probably my favorite new planeswalker. His confident, boisterous nature is a breath of fresh air, especially when compared to the melodrama we've gotten with some of our other planeswalkers recently. His character has a grand sense of positivity. Even when being put into life-threatening situations, this elf takes it in stride and stays chipper throughout most of the story. He's not one to back down and is always trying to do the right thing. Also, I love the fact that he has so much confidence he just kinda shrugs off Tybalt's mental attack. To a lesser extent, I also greatly enjoyed Arnie in the final chapter. Though he's only in a few paragraphs, he absolutely holds the spotlight, and his moments are some of the highlights of the tale. The return of New Phyrexia to the story after an absence of 10 years was exciting, and Vorinclex alone nearly made the wait worth it. Now that we know they're active and have the ability to move between worlds, it's only a matter of time before the Praetors take center stage in the story again, and that's something I know a lot of fans have been clamoring for. On the writing itself, there's not much to say, but I will compliment the fact that the fight scenes are really easy to follow. The author does a great job at helping the reader visualize where characters are and what is going on at any given time. I know this seems like it could be a small thing, but trust me, I have read many bad fight scenes in the past, so having them be well written is always a plus. Now with that out of the way, I can talk about the parts of the story I didn't like, and oh boy, there is a lot of it. If you know me well, it's no secret that I'm not the biggest fan of Kaya as a character. While she had a stellar introduction in Conspiracy, her subsequent appearances have done wonders to make this ghost hunter one of the least likable characters in the lore, and here's really no different. She starts this story off on a job to hunt down a monster. Who gave her this job? We don't know, and trust me, I'll get to that in a bit. After exactly one encounter with Vorinclex, Kaya proceeds to drop that quest in favor of another one, hunting down the much less interesting Tybalt. I don't know what to call it, but Kaya has some weird morals in this story. She confesses that she would have been completely okay with Tyvar dying, but because he's a planeswalker, his life is worth more, so she should baby him? She has some monologue about her code of ethics, but apparently that code is completely fine with non-planeswalker deaths. Also, I really can't stress this enough, she just stops trying to hunt down Vorinclex, the entire reason she's on Kaldheim in the first place. At one point in the story, she goes on this spiel about how planeswalking isn't a choice and that you have to live a lonely existence, conveniently forgetting about all the planeswalkers who spend most of their time on their home plane. She talks down to multiple characters, even gods, on multiple occasions, and seems to have this air of superiority around her, like she thinks she knows what's best for everyone. Kaya's relationship with Tyvar also has this weird thing where she insists on calling him kid, even though, as an elf, he's likely far older than her, and has asked her multiple times to stop. Maybe it's just her way of trying to be playful, but it comes off as annoying. This is especially egregious when, later, Kaya instinctively knows that Nico is non-binary and exclusively uses they-them pronouns when referring to a character she's known for all of 20 seconds. Kaya's combat prowess is all over the place in this story. She struggles fighting against Vorinclex and some big trolls, but in the climax, she's able to, quote, effortlessly kill a demon that the gods of Kaldheim had to work together just to imprison. This right here doesn't really sit well with me. Killing Varagoth should not have been this just easy swing, but Kaya, savior of the multiverse, pulls it off with ease. Alright, I don't want to just spend this entire video complaining about Kaya, so I'll leave it with just one more thing. The last time we saw her, in Forsaken, Kaya was in the Gatewatch and was adventuring with Teo and Rat. Now I checked, and I know others did too. Not only is there no mention of Teo or Rat in the story, the word Gatewatch does not appear at all in any of the chapters. Now, that can just be chalked up to forgetful writing, but it could also mean that WotC is toying around with the idea of retconning away both War of the Spark novels. Now, if that is the case, I couldn't be happier. Those books are bad. But I wish they'd just clarify it because it's certainly confusing. Way too much happens off-screen. How is Tyvar able to quickly convince Harald to not go to war? When and how does Kaya change Tyvar's mind about how awesome being a planeswalker is? Why was Nico hanging out with the Valkyries? And how is Vorinclex able to locate the inner sanctum of a god that nobody else in the history of the world was able to find? All of these questions, and more, go unanswered. But the big one for me, how exactly does Tybalt manage to capture Valky? All we're told is that Valky fell for one of Tybalt's tricks, but what exactly does that mean? Kaya, of all people, sees through Tybalt's illusion in like 3 seconds. Tybalt has a long history of failure, and Valky is supposed to be a god of tricks and deceit. I suppose I can use this point to segue into my next issue. The gods of Kaldheim are the most underwhelming we've ever seen. While Essica being killed by Vorinclex can just be chalked up to how hardcore the Green Praetor is, that still doesn't excuse the fact that one of the gods was beaten by Tybalt. Tybalt! The dude who lost a fight to Chandra's mom. Pia Nalar is now superior to a fucking god. Alrund and Halvar both just kind of pop in and out of the story, and I don't recall any of the others showing up at all. You'd think that a Doomscar, one of the most destructive events in Kaldheim history, would warrant the attention of all the gods. But nope, they must have more important things to deal with. I'll use this quick opportunity to slip in a gripe that this is like the second time WotC busted out the mysterious third party to get the story going. They did it before in Sundered Bond, and now we have Kaya taking a hit job from an unknown source. When reading fiction, unknown agents are always a red flag to me, since I feel the story being kickstarted for, to the viewers, unknown reasons is always just bad writing. Why not have the Kaldheim story start out following Tyvar as he tries to figure out what's going on with the rising tension through the realms, learning that Valky is inciting aggression, and then meeting Kaya who is tracking Tybalt down for the Gatewatch. That seems a lot better than Kaya is hunting a monster for money, but hey, what do I know? I don't work for WotC. My final point, since I don't want this video going on too long, is that the story feels really crunched. I don't get the sense that this is some grand, epic adventure taking place on the Viking world. Instead, from start to finish, I feel like the Kaldheim story takes place over the course of, like, I don't know, an afternoon? We're rushed from fight to fight, given just a bit of exposition, a big battle at the end, and the story's over. We explore very little of the world, and a lot of plot points are just left hanging. Is that big snake just loose in the world now? Are the gods gonna notice that they're mortal now? Is Kaldheim fucked, since Phyrexian oil is definitely on the plane? Who knows? We're probably never gonna return here, so I guess WotC just figured these questions can be left unanswered. I feel it's odd that the Kaldheim story was so short. When there's 3 months between standard set releases, there's really not much reason we couldn't have a 12-chapter story, but I guess a brief tale is better than none. I don't know, I suppose I'm just bitter about all the wasted opportunity. Alright, that's enough pretending to be a reviewer from me. What did you think about the story? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching this video, please like and subscribe, and have a great day.